Many people have been asking about what is the meaning of Bitcoin, even how is it that I can make profit out of it. But today I'll be showing you one or two things that these billionaires have spoken about Bitcoin. One of this is called Michael Saylor, and another one is also a well-known person, but dive deep into it and listen to exactly what they said and how even it shocked some of them. Okay, if you are new to our channel, if you're new to our channel, do us a favor, smash on the like button, subscribe, give us a thumbs up that each time we drop news like this, you'll be the first person to know. Let's quickly listen to the well-known Michael Saylor, the billionaire, of course.
The guy, after 30 years of engineering education, reasonably educated, but not a classically trained economist, not an Austrian economist. I am struggling with the time-honored question, what is money? I need a liquid, fungible asset which will store my economic energy for an indefinite period of time. And so what is money? I'm looking for money. And eventually I get to gold. And I'm thinking, should I buy $500 million of gold? And, my attorney, he looks at me and goes, Mike, I remember when gold was $800 an ounce back in the 70s or the 80s, and then it went nowhere for 20 years, and you should be careful about that. And it's kind of dead money. And then so I'm sitting at this table, and I'm watching the world burn while all the Wall Street guys get rich, and the talking heads on CNBC say what they're saying. And I'm looking out at Miami Beach, and I'm looking at Collins Avenue, and every car is there's no cars on the road except for an Amazon truck, which just makes me angry. One Amazon truck going by. And I've got 82 birds in my backyard, and they're hunting for worms because all the restaurants in Miami Beach shut down. So whoever is not feeding them. So I'm watching us strip the world back to the Stone Age, right? A devolution. And I'm staring up, and I look at Eric, and I say, Eric, tell me about that Bitcoin thing again. And Eric was a crypto entrepreneur, and he had been investing in digital assets and crypto, and I had dismissed him 2 years earlier in 2018. I was like, oh, that's probably just a scam coin. That's going to collapse. But, everybody finds this when if I tell you got 6 months to live, you would go looking for a cure. And if I told you every asset that you hold in Canada is going to be seized from you within 6 months,
that could happen.
You would think about how you're going to get your money out of Canada.
Yeah, we already thought about that.
And the point is, you didn't think about it for the 20 years of your career when it just wasn't the priority.
Yeah.
And then when you're faced with a crisis, a challenge, you start thinking.
So you can see that this was just Michael Saylor trying to convince this billionaire Jordan Peterson, all right, how Bitcoin really works. And if you can see from the explanation, it really makes sense. Yes, really, really makes sense. And I want us to really dive deep and look at another interview that really went on that was really shocking, of course. I want us to look at it. It was posted not long ago, and then this was like a moment. They said this was the exact moment Jordan Peterson realized that Bitcoin is far more advanced than he ever thought with Safe Dean Amos. All right, so this Jordan Peterson, you can understand, that was also invited and by Michael Saylor, was really talking about what's trying to explain to him. I don't know if it was this interview was done before the other one though, but I want us to listen to this one too and then see the reaction in both. All right.
But with Bitcoin, you just need an internet connection. You take the Bitcoin miners to where that energy is, and then you can monetize that energy and turn it into Bitcoin. It's magic.
So what's the net effect of that on the price of electricity? worldwide. Is that deflationary with regards to electricity cost?
I think so. I think this is a point that I make in the fiat stand, which is that we've had fiat subsidize all these dysfunctional forms of energy over the last 50 years that have led to the grid becoming unreliable. And we have Bitcoin, like the vigilante savior that it is, coming in and providing a global subsidy for anybody who can make electricity at a cheap rate to monetize that. And I think,
well, not only at a global subsidy, but it's so interesting because not only you could go to where the energy is cheap with virtual certainty that you're going to make more and more money as the value of the Bitcoin increases.
Wonderful. So as you can see, here was the breakthrough when Jordan Peterson really realized that indeed the conversation was really going on, and then things are really moving on. He was not even seeing how Bitcoin can really make him extra money as it was. Let's really listen to the end.
By investing there, assuming you assume that the value of Bitcoin is going to continually increase, which is a logical presupposition if it's as stable as is claimed, and it's finite in the way that you're describing, and increasingly widely accepted by vast numbers of people. So it's also an investment that's likely to increase in value over time rather than decrease. So it takes some of the uncertainty out of investing in cheap electricity generating processes that are geographically isolated. I just can't believe that's true. It's amazing that I think I must be misunderstanding, because it seems like you can move the value of the electricity magically without any of the problems of transportation.
yes, exactly.
Wow, that's really something. Like that idea that you can monetize energy production in areas that wouldn't be able to ship the electricity to market. That's absolutely mind-boggling. It'll take me like 5 years to think that through. And it seems to completely contradict the idea that Bitcoin is a waste of the world's resources, right? It's a complete opposite if this monetization idea is actually true.
Wonderful. So as you can see, Bitcoin is really an asset that you can't go without in this our century, in this our age, of course. Jordan Peterson has gotten this share about explaining or getting the known to know about Bitcoin, how investment being done as a normal investment is being done, and then the profit ratios as it goes by. This was the explanation I want to make you understand the meaning of Bitcoin and the neat rules and other benefits that it enrolls with it. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to smash on the subscribe button. This Crypto Lord Nathan. I'll bring you the latest news concerning crypto, investments, and other businesses. Bye for now.